Welcome to Tuesday. It's the 12th day of September, 2023, your Day Weather Podcast, brought to you by Cowboy State Daily. Did you know they publish a digital newsletter, 5:45 a.m. every day, 7 days a week? You can get it free. Get it emailed to you every morning. Subscribe to cowboystatedaily.com. Well, we've got, for the most part, today and into Wednesday in most of the Intermountain West and the Western High Plains, some nice weather. We're still going to have some areas of showers and thunderstorms down across portions of southern Colorado into New Mexico, West Texas, and down into the southwestern United States as that cold front will be settling down into there, while fair, drier conditions will be developing across most of the central and northern areas. This will be the case through tomorrow. Then we've got this Pacific trough coming in Thursday and Friday with cooler temperatures, areas of rain showers, and thunderstorms. Doesn't look like anything really significant, but Thursday and Friday in many areas will have some showers around, a lot of clouds, and temperatures, I wouldn't call them cold, but they will cool off a little bit. Then just in time for the weekend, the weather does get a little bit better. That continues into the early portions of next week. And at the end of the podcast, we'll talk about some possible changes on the weekend of 9/23 or a little bit later than that. One thing I want to show you, we had some great photos come in of the big hail that fell in the Sinks Canyon area over the weekend west of Lander. Yesterday, we showed you all those pictures of big thunderstorm cells, supercells, some really big thunderstorms blowing up along that frontal boundary this past weekend. A lot of them had hail, and that Sinks Canyon area was one that picked up not only a little bit of hail, but a lot of it, as it did pile up and got pretty deep in some areas. But we don't expect to see that coming our way here over the next couple of days. You can see the orange really defining the frontal boundary that now extends from the Great Lakes back all the way into the Rockies here. The bigger push, though, of the moisture and the instability is going to be down here, as you can see in the water vapor, then along the frontal boundary here into the Midwest. So generally speaking, fair weather will be developing in many areas. It's a weak but broad area of weak high pressure kind of moving on in here right now. But this Pacific Northwest system is going to settle to the south and east. And as it does so, that's what's going to bring the cooler weather. You can really see the cooler weather today. These are the temperature anomalies for noon today. So you can see down there in Texas, New Mexico, southern Colorado, and Kansas, real cool. But that coolness extends all the way into the Great Lakes. Pretty sharp delineation here with the frontal boundary, bringing a little hint of fall to some areas of the U.S. But you can see the warmer weather here. That's what's going to be moving in later today and into Wednesday and Thursday. This is where the precipitation will fall through tomorrow. Through tomorrow, you can see that southern bias from Arizona to New Mexico, southern and southwest Colorado, a little bit on the Wasatch there, and into Texas, some pretty good and needed rains coming down there. But there's a large area right here with very little happening weather-wise. Here's the trough, though, by Thursday morning. It's going to take its time settling into the region, but it will bring a northwest wind flow into the region, some instability, and some Pacific moisture. The end result is going to be that it's going to hang around a bit. By Saturday morning, it's going to be heading up into the northern plain states. Then this is where the high pressure starts to build in. But there will be a trailing cold front and still northwest flow coming on in. So for Thursday, Friday, and into the beginnings of Saturday, cooler. And here's the area of cool air behind it. This is for Thursday. So the back and forth that you get as you change seasons, warmer days, cooler days, is continuing, and kind of the spacing between these frontal boundaries is getting a little bit closer. This is what we expect on the second round of precipitation. This is basically from late Wednesday into Thursday, Friday, into Saturday morning. So we're going to see some shower activity with that Pacific trough, really especially right here in that late Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday morning time frame. And then there's going to be more shower and thunderstorm activity as that trough goes across the southern Rockies and into the southern plains as well. So cooler, unsettled conditions, wet in some areas, and yep, cold enough. The higher mountains of Colorado, Wyoming, even the Uintas here in Utah might be able to see a little bit of snow up high. Nothing really to get excited about, but it's just another indication we're getting closer to that changeover to fall. This is by noon Sunday. A broad area of high pressure tries to build back into the area. So this will bring in what I would say is okay weekend weather. Not great weekend weather, but the weather will certainly be improving from where we're going to be Thursday and Friday. There you can see by Sunday, relative to average, temperatures above average return to a large part of central and western Canada, the Pacific Northwest, the northern plains, and most of the central and northern Rockies. Longer term, this is what I wanted to show you. This is for the weekend, the beginning of the weekend of September 23rd. So the weekend after this one. Last week we were showing you some hints, kind of giving you a sampling of what some of the long-range model is saying that could happen around that time frame where we could see releases some colder weather. And we're seeing that signal there still. There's a lot of disagreement in the long-range charts, but confidence is getting a little bit higher that, let's say, around the weekend of the 23rd, or let's say after the weekend of the 23rd, with this high pressure building in the eastern Pacific, that's going to open the door to some colder air getting released. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But if it does, you can see that the potential for much cooler weather by then could be moving into the western United States, and we'll keep an eye on it for you. Have yourself a great Tuesday. See you tomorrow.